Hi, welcome back to the channel. I am Nina Simone, and today we're talking about something most people struggle with but rarely admit. And that is why we avoid hard conversations and how to finally speak honestly, confidently, and calmly, even when it feels uncomfortable. Whether it's with a significant other, a family member, or anyone you love, avoiding tough conversations doesn't protect the relationship, it slowly erodes it. So let's talk about how to change that. Now, why do we avoid hard conversations? Most people are not running from the conversation itself, they're running from what they fear might happen because of the conversation. We fear conflict, rejection, being misunderstood, hurting someone's feelings, losing connection, or being seen as, emotional, too needy, or too much. So instead of speaking up, we hide our feelings or smile through discomfort, say it's fine when it's not. We adjust ourselves just to keep the peace, or we're waiting for the right time, which never happens. It never comes, right? But unspoken truth doesn't disappear. It builds resentment, distance, and emotional exhaustion. So let's talk about what the silence is really costing you. Avoidance feels like temporary peace, but eventually it creates emotional disconnect, misunderstandings, internal pressure, bitterness, resentment, anxiety, feeling unseen or unheard. But here's the truth: honest conversations actually create clarity, they avoid creating assumptions. And assumptions are where relationships start to break down. So let's prepare for a hard conversation. Before you talk, center yourself and ask yourself, what am I actually feeling? Sometimes we say I'm angry, but underneath it all, we're really hurt or disappointed, fearful, or feeling unappreciated. Then think to yourself, what outcome do I want? What am I looking for? It could be you're looking for clarity to prevent emotional breakdown, right? And then you want to say, what story am I telling myself? Often the story is worse than the reality. Example, you might think if I bring this up, they'll shut down or they're going to think I'm dramatic. Okay, that is what you're telling yourself, and that isn't always the case. And then you're probably wondering, when is the best time? Hard conversations need calm energy, not chaos. So let's go over some things that we can probably say and how to say it. We're going to explore a gentle and direct formula. You're going to say, when blank happened, I felt blank and I need blank moving forward. So I'll give you some examples. When we stop talking about things that bother us, I feel disconnected. I need us to communicate even when it's uncomfortable. See how that works? Another example, we're going to say, when blank happened, I felt blank and I needed blank moving forward. So you're going to use this formula, okay? So another example, when plans change without telling me, I feel unconsidered. I need communication that helps us to stay aligned. So the when is when plans change without notifying me. The I felt is I felt unconsidered. The I need is I need communication and that moving forward is to help us stay aligned. See, did that make sense? Another example, when I hold things in, it builds resentment. I want us to be honest with each other, even if it's messy. Okay? So, we're going to have and practice a dialogue. This conversation might feel uncomfortable for both of us, but I care about the relationship too much to stay silent. You can come up with something else. You can use this line, but this can be like the precursor before a hard conversation. I'll repeat that again. You can start with, hey, this conversation might feel uncomfortable for both of us, but I care about the relationship too much to stay silent. And again, you can come up with whatever line that fits you and that you're more comfortable with. We also have to remember that our tone of voice matters. You can be honest without being harsh. You can be firm without being aggressive. And you can also be vulnerable without being weak. Okay? So let's practice how to stay calm during the conversation. First, you want to breathe before responding. Okay? Take a deep breath in, let it out slowly. Silence is not a weakness, it's regulation. All right? Then we want to avoid blame words such as you always, you never. Let's leave those out of the conversation. Then you want to speak from your experience using I words. I felt so and so. I noticed this or that. Okay? We want to practice more I words, not you words. Then you have to remember the goal here is connection, not winning. We're not trying to win the battle. We want to connect. Okay? We want to keep communication. And then if emotions rise, pause without walking away. Just say, I'm getting overwhelmed. Can we take 2 minutes and come back to this? Can we visit this a little later? Or whatever you need, however you need to word it, okay? And however much time you need. And then after the conversation, hard conversations don't always end wrapped in a bow, a pretty little bow. Sometimes it creates relief. Sometimes it creates reflection. It can sometimes open a door, you know? But every time they create truth. And truth is the foundation of real intimacy and healthy relationships. Courageous conversations build trust. Avoidance builds walls. Okay? So try to keep some of these tactics and under your belt to practice and go over this video again if you need to. So that is it. If this encouraged you today, comment below. Is there a hard conversation you've been avoiding? And also, if you want more videos on communication or boundaries, emotional wellness, and personal peace, hit like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And remember, honesty won't ruin a healthy relationship. Silence will. So that is it. I hope this has helped you in some way. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.